Alrighty, then we back a little bit later. Didn't have later, but hey, it is what it is. Had some few audibles I had to call for today. But hey, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Probably one of the biggest weekends in Detroit sports history, maybe in Detroit history. Excuse me, all the way together, man. So um real history here, man. The Lions are in the NFC Championship game, first time since 1991, going against the 49ers. Last time I checked, I think we were a field goal. I think we were a touchdown, depending on the sports book. We were a touchdown underdog. You got to know the home team customarily get 3 points. And FYI, shout out to the brother Sharon Moore, who became the head coach of the University of Michigan. Salute to him. So now we are 7.5 point underdog. So the line started at 6.5. Now the line is continuing to move to up is to continue to go higher. Usually come game time, you see the line get closer and closer. So that just means a lot of people are believing that the 49ers are going to run away with this thing, man. And that's not out the realm of possibility. I think amongst most Lions fans, you hope that the Detroit Lions could get it done, but you kind of know in the back of your head, like, you know what I'm saying? They pretty much kind of, jump the line, or they not good enough. And, one of the horror stories is, in my opinion, one of the horror stories is, they are fool's gold. They paid Jared Goff a bunch of money, and then we in a messed up position. You know what I'm saying? So you just hope that's not the case. The city is behind Jared Goff. They chanted his name at the both playoff games. I think 20% of Lions fans bought some tickets out in San Francisco, which you got to understand. I heard that they shut out the Packer fans from buying tickets, or they didn't get tickets to travel that far. And they damn near won. And that's kind of most Lions fans' saving grace is that, well, the Packers almost won. We better than the Packers. And sometimes it ain't about being better or being good. Sometimes it's just about matchups. You know what I'm saying? And in this game, a lot of people said, it's a bad matchup for us. They point to the back end, and like I said, they got remedies to heal that back end. There's remedies to do so. People forget Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl with backup cornerbacks, and cornerbacks off the street. People forget that. But your front seven has to be dominant, and that's really what's coming. The front seven is they starting to generate pressure. We hear that James Houston is going to play now. I'm not saying we're gonna get we getting Khalil Mack back or nothing like that, but hey, man, situational pass rusher. We getting a situational pass rusher back. So, hopefully in situations he can come up big. You can use that speed. And you come off the pine and you get to play. I mean, there's a double-edged sword there. He's gonna be fresher than most, but also a little bit rusty as well too. Gardner Johnson kind of getting his feet wet, and I just think in this week they're going to count on matching guys up. I mean, I think they're going to have to count on matching some of these dudes up. But shout out to the ones. Hopefully, he takes a team-friendly deal. Well, that's in my opinion, that's not his job. His job is to make as much money and keep the market progressing further and further. You don't give team discounts. You know what I'm saying? And if he win the Super Bowl, that means he gonna break the bank, and he deserved to do so. I mean, I just think he deserved a deal at this point. But at the end of the day, we kind of get to I don't really don't want to touch on that, but that's kind of one of the things that you fear. And then also you getting rid of Ben Johnson, and how much is that is tied to Ben Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So just some things to kind of think about. But come Sunday, this is a an interesting matchup. Very interesting. San Francisco got a really good defense. But if recently, people have been saying they be getting gashed in the run game, they back end is not that good. They DB's not saying they bad, but statistically Pro Football Focus, they got two of the worst corner channels. So there's plays to be made. I mean, obviously, in playoff football, the things that you want to do, you want to be able to run the ball, stop the run, get after the passer. And one of the most important things, you want to be able to take care of the football. You want to be able to take care of the football. So, yeah, you want to be able to take care of football. You can't have no turnovers. And I think that's one of the reasons they leaned on David Montgomery so much. I think that's one of the reasons they leaned on David Montgomery as much as they did. Is because they know with David Montgomery, there's going to be ball security. He's a veteran. A rookie is a rookie. And with a veteran like David Montgomery, there's going to be ball security. When he run up the sideline, he going to keep that ball in the arm closest to the sideline to prevent, fumbles or turnovers and all that type stuff. So, I mean, like I continue to say, there is a reason why they're really, really, tough, and they really running with David Montgomery. But I think these one of the games where you got to unleash Jahmyr Gibbs. You got to unleash Jahmyr Gibbs. You see what Steve Wilkes say. He says no sure way you can stop them. And if they got any plays they've been working on in creative ways to get Jahmyr Gibbs the football, the time is now. If it's time to use and abuse him, if it's time to use and abuse him in the passing game, the time is now. Circle routes, Texas routes, wheel routes, whatever they got in the bag. It's time to whip it out. Pause. Whatever plays they've been saving, or whatever plays they've been cooking up. And one thing about Ben Johnson, he does a fantastic job of studying other teams, plays and seeing what works. So I really look to see, the first 15 or 20 plays they got orchestrated, or what he got in the bag for this game. It's piquing my interest. It is piquing my interest because this is a very, very important football game. You notice, guess what they pulled out the bag versus Tampa Bay to stop Tampa Bay from blitzing? They went to a hurry up offense. You know what I'm saying? So Tampa Bay really couldn't, get their feet, and they, get their feet comfortable with blitzing. So kind of what can he bring to the table in this game? And like I said before, at some point, if they're going to be successful, going deep into the playoffs, at some point they're going to need, Josh Reynolds, which he had a big game versus his former team, the LA Rams, and they're going to need a big game out of, Jameson Williams, Josh Reynolds, or Donovan Peoples-Jones, and or Khalif Raymond, which I think he's healthy. They're going to need a big game outside the numbers for one of their explosive playmakers, just in general. Somebody's going to have to step up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to have to step up and make a play. Somebody going to have to step up outside the run game, outside of Ross Brown, outside of outside of Sam Laporta, which he ain't on the injury report this week. Somebody going to have a big game. You know what I'm saying? Big explosive game. And a lot of times, a lot of people tend to think that might come from Jameson Williams, and we waiting. If the time is coming, the time is now for one of the times is now for Jameson Williams to come up and be a factor. He's starting to learn the route tree. He's starting to, do something more than run, routes down the field. Now, if it's the time, we got to do something that they ain't seen on film. Not get too cute, whatever the situation may be, but that's what it's going to be. We going to need a big game from Peoples-Jones, Reynolds, J-Mo, or Khalif Raymond. Somebody else got to step up. Somebody else got to step up. And it's going to be very interesting to see who does and who can make a play. Going out on the road, number one thing you can't do is turn the ball over. That's gonna get the crowd involved even more. Can't go out there turning the ball over. And with Jared Goff, can't go out there taking stats. If you notice, I think in the last game, one of the things I did notice about the last game is they kind of moved the pocket a little bit for Jared Goff and got him on the move. So I'm very, and one of the most intriguing things that interests me in this game is what does Ben Johnson have for an encore? Very interesting. You think Debo really a running back? Like, see, yeah, all they receivers are running backs. I don't mean it in a disrespectful manner in which Gardner Johnson, and I think it's some respect to that. Because when in the that offense they run, that West Coast offense, whatever they want to call it, when the receivers get the ball in their hand, I highlighted that. They are running backs. When they get the ball in their hand, they make a lot of their hay catching the ball over the middle. That's where a lot of places guys don't want to go. That's one of the reasons why I don't have Randy Moss as the greatest receiver of all time, because he didn't go over the middle like Calvin, like T.O., like Jerry Rice, or even like Larry Fitzgerald, which I got him in my top 5 as well too. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why. And those San Francisco receivers, Debo and Ayuk, they going over the middle, man, and they delivering pain. It's a scary sight going over the middle and seeing a Bobby Wagner or seeing Alexander Zoni, those big linebackers. So when they get the ball, and I pointed that this is one of the things that the Lions have to do. You have to wrap up the shoulder tackles, the cold shoulder tackles, and you have to wrap up. When you play against San Francisco receivers, they make their hay and yak. What they like to do is they like to run the ball with Christian McCaffrey. The extension of the run game is getting McCaffrey the ball in the flats and in the passing game. And then what they want to do, they want to play action off of that. They want to go deep and then pause. And then if they're not doing, if they play action, then they going over the middle, or their offense is trying to get you to look at McCaffrey and they trying to hit those routes over the middle. They trying to hit those routes down the field off the play action. That's what everybody want to do. When you play action, what you want to do? You want to look down the field to get a matchup, suck the defense in, and look down the field. One of the things San Francisco like to do, which Jared Goff knows a lot of times they like to play action to the back and throw the ball to the back. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I said before. Stopping McCaffrey is part of it. And with McCaffrey, you got to stop him in the run game. But also, when he get out there on the routes, they need to reroute him. When he coming out the backfield, he need to be chipped. He need to be hit. And that's one of the successes that the Patriots had in their first Super Bowl win over the St. Louis Rams. When Marshall Faulk came out the backfield, they put a hat on him. They wore him down. They hit him. They rerouted him. They made Kurt Warner go to a second, third option. So they took away Marshall Faulk in the passing game and made them one-dimensional. So that's kind of, like I said before, taking McCaffrey away, make them one-dimensional. But the thing about it is they receivers make a lot of plays and all, especially over the middle. So when they coming over the middle or they doing a screen game or they yakking, they catching and looking for yards after catch, you have to wrap up. You have to wrap up. It's imperative. And he's one of those games where, when they catch it across the middle, you don't want to go high and get a personal foul penalty. You're going to have to cut them off at the legs and at the hips. So, they are running backs. And I say that in a very, very respectful manner in the fact of, when they get the ball, they turn it to running backs and they tough to bring down. But as far as him not running routes, hey, we'll see. Dubs, what's going on? Detroit time is now to win. I don't know if they'll be back to this point for a minute. San Francisco can be beat. And, like I said before, you never know what can happen or what can't happen. When you don't have a concrete franchise quarterback, when you don't have a Brady or Mahomes or guys like that, you just never know if you're going to come back to this situation, especially with Ben Johnson being tied to Jared Goff's success. You right? So that's a fair question. But then again, the Lions window is just really opening with a lot of money next year to spend, with a bunch of draft picks to spend. But like they said, you just never know if he get back there. Johnson, even though y'all rival, I wish y'all luck in a tough game. And I see Bears fans wishing us luck and everything. I mean, one of the Bear fans I was watching at the barbershop in the news saying, well, they probably with Jared Goff, they won't probably be back in this position again. So, and Jared Goff used it as fuel. He back in the NFC Championship again. Now with them, people forget the first time, one of the reasons that they didn't beat the Patriots was that he didn't have Todd Gurley to lean on no more. And that's what the 49ers are going to want to do. They're going to take away what the Lions do best, and they're going to run the ball. But I just really don't think people really watch the Lions. I don't really look at the Lions as a running team. I don't look at them as a running team like everybody else do. One thing I noticed about Ben Johnson, he of this new school mentality of he like to throw the ball to open up the run. The Lions are not a team that run the ball. I think a lot of people around Detroit, that if they think like me, saying I think they should be running it even more. Detroit throws the ball a hell of a lot. And at the end of the game, I think with a lot of times when they closing out games, the run stats, um, and the big runs down the stretch when they trying to stop the passing game, I think it's overinflated. I think they're more of a passing team to me more than a running team. They throw to open up the run game. If the Lions go to Super Bowl, I'm going to the game. Yeah. I'll be in Vegas, God willing. Junior get the salute. He said that boy Luka dropped 73. Where the defense at anymore? Yeah, I mean, Devin Booker had 50 something at the third quarter. He had 29 points in the quarter. So the NBA don't want to play defense no more, bro. I mean, that's a whole different conversation. I thought Raymond was still out. No, I think Raymond healthy. I could be wrong. Let me double check the injury report. Let's see. Double check the injury report. I think he good. I mean, Peoples Jones been filling in at the kick return role, so shout out to him. So let's see. Oh yeah, you might be right. Yeah, he didn't practice again. Yeah, he out. He is out again. I thought he was gonna play. Yeah, I thought he was gonna play. So yeah, that's a big blow not having him. Pause. That's a huge blow. So yeah, he out. Johnny Jackson, we knew out. We knew that. Hendon Hooker, he got a toothache, so he didn't practice. Chase Lucas got an illness. He out. Alonzoni was full practice, unspecified going forward. Houston, Laporta, Ragnow, Reynolds, all unspecified, but they was full practice. We don't know what's going on with Nick Bosa. He resting, so that ain't nothing. Debo Samuels, he was a full practice Friday, so that means he's playing. So hey, it is what it is. We want them at their best. Trent Williams rested. Eric Armstead, he'll full practice. Drake Greenlaw, really good linebacker. Him and Armstead full practice. Greg Odom DB. RB Thomas good DB full practice. Kalia Davis defensive tackle. Orrin Burks full practice. And so yeah, they're gonna be at full strength more than we are. But hold on. Let's see. And they got a really good they got a really talented football team, you know. And they are so lucky that they picked the wrong quarterback and turned around and found a really another good quarterback in Dirty Purdy, Brock Purdy, you know. Sometimes it's like that. And the Shanahan's are Shanahan's historical for that. Didn't they find Kirk Cousins after they drafted Robert Griffin III? So I mean, we know what their offense bringing to the table, but defensively, they got some really good guys there. Javon Kinlaw, they drafted him, I think, in the first round out of South Carolina. Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave. He came from the Eagles. Everybody making a big hoopla about how Gardner Johnson returned to the NFC Championship game. Well, so did Javon Hargraves, I believe. So, I mean, Orrin Burks, Fred Warner, Drake Greenlaw, and then kind of get a little bit murky here. I think one of their safeties is end up being out for the year. Then they have like a Hawaiian safety or something, Samoan safety. But yeah, they back in as they back in. Tayshaun Gibson Sr., well, I thought he was on the Eagles. So yeah, but they corners, they get the job done. So DBs get the job, but Isaiah Oliver, Demordor, Leonore, Shavarius Ward. I remember old boy that was over here with us. He came from over there that tore his leg back up. He got injured last year over there. Jair Brown, and Tayshaun Gibson. So they got Logan Ryan over there as well too. So they pretty much stacked. I mean, they got a really good football team. I don't know how we gonna be able to compete with them. This is their third NFC championship game. And fun fact, the Lions have lost 11 or 14 straight road games. The last time they won a road playoff games, it was in, I think they said 1956 or 1957. Guess where they won their last road playoff game at? It was versus the San Francisco 49ers. I think they lost 11 straight or 6 or 7 straight to the 49ers as well too. We remember the inaugural Brown Holmes, Dan Campbell golf era game where I felt like we should have won that game versus the 49ers, but we didn't. We didn't have enough weapons. So the 49ers, we playing them in years. I mean, they've been interesting games in my opinion. So 73. No, hell no. Luca, what the hell? Yeah, they had both had 50 something at the in the third, going into the third, or after the third quarter. The Lions win their first Super Bowl. Then Dan Campbell record will be 33-33 if we win it all. Beat the 49ers. Campbell said this week that the Lions' first defensive goal was to stop the 49ers running game. But that's kind of deceptive too, because Debo Samuel's part of that running game. Christian McCaffrey in the passing game is part of that running game. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of deceptive. They running game, they receivers and they backs receiving out the backfield. That's an extension of their run game. So, stopping their run game is just not just stopping them handing the ball off and pitches, and with how creative they get with their running game. Part of the running game is also being able to stop McCaffrey and those receivers coming out the backfield and what they do with the ball in their hand. So that's part of of stopping a run game too, because a lot of things they do, they short passing game, they slants as an extension of the run game. So McCaffrey is public enemy number one, and once McCaffrey get it going, it's hard to stop. And then you can hold McCaffrey down, the entire game. You know what I'm saying? You can hold McCaffrey down the entire game, but it just take one chunk play. And then when he starts smelling that goal line, it's pretty much a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much a wrap. When he starts smelling that goal line, and you can hold McCaffrey down the whole game, and one big run can change everything. He's an explosive, tough running back. He's an explosive, tough running back. So, yeah, he's one of them dangerous ones. In the blink of an eye, he can turn it around in one or two plays. So a lot of their explosive plays, yes, they come through McCaffrey. Yes, they come through the running game and come off the play action in the whole nine. But it's just so many dimensions. But you want to stop that running game. You want to stop McCaffrey. Let's stop saying the running game. You want to stop Christian McCaffrey. That is number one thing you want to do. You want to stop Christian McCaffrey. You want to stop Christian McCaffrey. That is the number one thing you want to do. You want to stop Christian McCaffrey. You want to eliminate the explosive plays. You want to eliminate the touchdowns, everything. You want to make Brock Purdy one-dimensional. So, and it'd be interesting because, they going to see opportunities to go down the field. And when they say, well, we got opportunities to drive the ball down the field versus the Detroit DBs, is that going to get them to deviate away from the running game? Is that going to get them to deviate away from throwing the ball over the middle? Is that going to get them to deviate away from what they like to do? And they're going to start to try to take shots down the field and get this thing over with? So it's going to be interesting, man. Really, as many times as the Kansas City been to the NFC Championship game, the 49ers are just as dominant 3 straight years here, And most people thought they would have won it last year had, Purdy got knocked out the game. He said, think about this. The Lions have 60 million in cap, and we're in the NFC Championship game with with a chance to win go to the Super Bowl. And not even just in a chance to win it, hope we'll win it. Not even just that, too. They got one of the youngest rosters in the league. I agree the Lions are very balanced. He said, I wonder how much James Houston is going to play tomorrow. He's just going to be a situational pass rusher. Yeah, Hung Funga. What happened to that dude? That dude a beast. I think he obviously he out. Eric, what's going on? Yeah, that dude's a problem. I don't know where they found his ass at. 49ers outside run defense has been bad. Aaron Jones killed them in the trenches tosses. Expect the Lions to run on the outside with Gibbs a lot. And then, and that might be the case, man. And that's what happens when you add new pieces to the puzzle. That's happened. You add, guys like Chase Young to the puzzle. Run defense is camaraderie, just as the offensive line is camaraderie. Run defense is it's gap discipline. That's what it's about. And some of your best edge rushers ain't some of your best run stoppers. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, make sure I hit the thumbs up button. So that's another huge thing as well too, is that when you add a guy like Chase Young to the mix, when you add a guy like Chase Young to the mix, yes, you get better pass rushing, but you add him late to the mix, and then your run defense is gonna suffer a little bit. And then once you start looking, Miles out here sleep, help me wake him up. Then when your run defense start kind of like it's gonna start suffering because he ain't been around long enough. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it should be interesting. But yeah, the Lions got a tough task, man. I mean, they're more than a touchdown underdogs. That line keep growing and growing and growing. So usually that line, tends to, shrink a little bit. And on the money line, I think they're plus 310. So if you bet 100 on FanDuel, you win $310 for every 100 that you bet. Yeah, they're plus 310. So at the end of the day, they not getting the they not getting the respect. They not getting the respect. And what you want to do is you want to take advantage of every opportunity that Brock Purdy give you. If he hitting you in the numbers, he throwing interceptions, you got to be opportunistic. Kirby Joseph, Gardner Johnson, they're opportunistic. That's one of the reasons Tracy Walker is not out there, because he can't catch the football. He can't catch the football. It's one of the reasons he ain't out there. But I think I probably would want to put Tracy Walker in I would probably want to put Tracy Walker in at linebacker this week. I probably would activate him. Put him on Christian McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? He really active in the box, stopping the run. That's one of the, he's one of the guys that I think I would activate this week. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the guys that I think I would activate this week. Just in my opinion. Keep an eye on him. He's very active in the run box. Now he may not be the blitzer that Melifanu is, but one of the things about him, he's really, really active in the box at making big run, making run play, stopping the run. He's very active in the box. He's very active in the box, and that's one of the things that I like. And I think they can utilize him. I think they can utilize him. Just my opinion. So I think, him and on McCaffrey and some of the things they should do, it might need to be more of a hybrid defense this week. More Walker. Especially if you play another mobile quarter. And Brock Purdy's pretty mobile as well, too. He's pretty mobile. So he's pretty mobile. But like I said before, can I see this game getting out of hand where the 49ers get the beating on our ass? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this is a foreign place for a lot of Detroit Lions, but at the most important position, it's not. Goff has been here before, and you got a guy on defense that's been here before in Gardner Johnson. So, hopefully hopefully that experience, or them just being, or them just being too young, you know, they don't know no better. I mean, really, when you think about it, who all the pressure on? I feel like all the pressure is on the 49ers. We ain't supposed to be here. What JC say? He said, I ain't supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be locked up too. Ball so hard. So we ain't supposed to be here. We not supposed to be here. We not supposed to be here. So we ain't supposed to be here, bro. So we playing with house money. And I think, Green Bay played with that same I think Green Bay played with that same intensity. Appreciate to Zach and the cash. I appreciate the love. I think Green Bay played with that same mentality. Like, okay, man, we ain't even supposed to be here. We young. Did the moment get to Jordan Love? Absolutely, that happens. Then Aaron Rodgers threw a pick in his first playoff game. Versus Arizona, and they was in the shootout and he turned it over. I mean, that's part of the maturation process. Even though the kicker make the kick, do Brock Purdy drive them down? Situations is different, bro. When you down by 3, versus when you down by 7 and you need a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Now, had that kicker made that 7 points, it would have been a totally different situation. You know, it would have been. You know, maybe they still go down there and they score. You know, maybe they do. So, but in my humble opinion, we'll see. When they got opportunities where Aaron Jones breaks that big run out against 49ers, and I think, in my opinion, if that's Jahmyr Gibbs, that's 6. You know, that's 6 points. You know, and everybody talking about who's the better quarterback. It don't matter who's the better quarterback coming to this game. It matters on January 28th, who is the best quarterback in San Francisco. That's what it matters. When you go into somebody else's building, the number one thing you want to do is shut that crowd up. Whatever that means. If that stop them, if that's, score first, if that's get a turnover, I think the Lions want to jump out quick, fast, and in a hurry. Should they play ball control because of their back end and milk the clock? Hey, you play whatever suits you. Whatever you've been playing, how you got here, do that. Whatever shoes you've been wearing, they got you to this point, do it. Don't do nothing different. Whatever pregame meal you like to eat, whatever time, don't do nothing. It's a regular game. That's how you treat it. People that treat the moment as a big moment, they come on. It's like getting into a fight. You nervous when you about to get into the fight, but guess what? Once you start exchanging blows, it's just another fight. It's just another fight. You don't think about it. You might be in a championship basketball game, but once the ball tip, it's just another game. Unless it come down to a big drive or a big play, then you're like, oh, this is a championship. But once you're in the heat of the moment, you ain't even thinking about nothing else. And they just got to treat this like another game. Another opponent. Yeah, you going outside. Yeah, you don't want to be going to 49er land, but it could be worse. It could be going to a cold city. It could be raining. It's not. Let's check the weather. I don't think it's raining. Just treat like another game. Like, come on, what you got to lose? Yeah, you may not make it again here. It'd be 65 on Sunday. Little bit of wind out there, though. Little bit of wind. Well, shit, too. Well, what is that? What we in? Wednesday, it's gonna be 23 miles of wind, 23 hours of 23 miles per hour in the wind category. But yeah, you treat this shit like another game, bro. You the one team that's playing with house money. That's who you are as the Lions. You're the team that's playing with house money. You ain't supposed to be here. I was watching the 30 for 30 about the Bad Boys, and he said, well, publicly Chuck Daly would be like, I forget what he said. He said, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm a kid from somewhere. So I forget the name of his town, the banana something. I'm not supposed to be here. But quietly, he told that team that, hey, we good as anybody in this league. That was Jimmy Johnson with, Miami. You like those head coaches that rule with swagger. Like, nah, we good. We the shit too. We the shit. You need that mentality if you're gonna be successful in life. You don't have to be arrogant, but I would rather you be arrogant than not confident. I'd rather you be an arrogant son of a gun. I'd rather you be an arrogant son of a gun. I'd rather you be than not be confident. I'd rather be like, I'm the shit. I'm that ninja. I'd rather you come out there with that swagger and that. That's what I like about Dan Campbell. Like, we good as anybody else out here. Okay, they're not giving us a chance. They got us more than a touchdown underdog. Okay. We ain't supposed to be here, huh? I think we supposed to be here. But come on, who the pressure on? I think Jared Goff already solidified and secured his bag. The bag just gonna keep going up and up and up from here for him. You know, Purdy got the pressure from last year, knocked out the game. This year, he want to prove that he the missing piece. He ain't playing for money right now, but eventually, because they can't pay him next year because of the rules. But it's golf. I mean, you know, you made it here in LA, and unfortunately, Todd Gurley got injured towards the end of that, and you know, for that back half of that run. People don't remember that. And the narrative is, well, Matthew Stafford took the same team to Super Bowl. Bullshit. Bullshit. He got Von Miller, Odell Beckham. Come on, man. Von Miller, first ballot Hall of Famer, bro. That's huge. Odell Beckham, one of the better receivers in the league. Or at that point, he still was amongst what, top 20, 25? You know? So, no, so for Jared Goff to be in this position that nobody thought he could be in, it's house money with the Detroit Lions. Nobody thought Jared Goff would make it back to this point. Nobody even giving Jared Goff credit for persevering through this in Detroit. And they gave him a raw deal in Detroit, didn't give him a lot of weapons. But Brad Holmes told him, he's I'm gonna get you some weapons. Last year they got off to a 1-6 start. Why? Had a lot of injuries on the team. They had a tremendous amount of injuries on the team. A tremendous amount. There was a lot of injuries on that football team starting off. And as they got healthier, they started racking up the wins. So imagine if that team was healthy last year. I mean, I think it would be expected for them to be making this run. I think they could have made a similar run last year. I think it would be expected for them to make this run this year. But with the injuries putting them a year behind the 8 ball, you know what I'm saying? So, I think this is where they would have been had they been healthy last year. So, this is my opinion. He said, I'm scared of the refs will make some wicked calls on Sunday. Yeah. And that's always, in the back of your mind. But they got to just go out there and play football. On top of Tracy Walker dropping passes, he also looks slow when he's out there. His speed is completely gone. He said, remember Cleveland Blakeman referencing against game, the same guy from the Trey Flowers illegal use of the hands to the face against the Packers on that Monday night. I didn't know that was him. I knew he was controversy. And apparently somebody did a video on TikTok about, and I'll show this. I don't think they get mad. But he did a video on TikTok about if I can find it. They did a video on TikTok about the Kansas City in the game with Kansas City and in Baltimore in one of the games. The guys refereed that. If I can find it. Let me see if I can find it, man. That was an real interesting video. Let me see if I can find this video. And one of the guys reffing the game, apparently he's a pro. He's a pro. Mahomes a role guy. Yeah, I thought I saved the video. I did. I don't know who. Let me see if I can find this video, man. This dude did this video on. Let me see. Let's see if we can find it. Let's get it started in here. Yeah. Damn, man. I thought I had that video, man. I don't have it. Damn. But yeah, he had a video basically saying that one of the refs for the Ravens was a Kansas City game booked that Kansas City gonna win that game because of this ref. He said the Lions fans are going to take over the stadium. We absolutely are supposed to be here. He said Josh in his back salute. He said the Lions win the toss. I think they're going to receive the ball first. They go up and start. Man, I'm giving them the ball. I'm making sure I'm having that ball out of half. I'm giving them the ball. Debo is just going to be a decoy. We're going to hit him hard. We need to not make mistakes, play to win, and have fun. Yeah, I mean, man, I don't know. They're going to shoot Debo arm right on up with that shit. So, I don't know. He said golf is this is golf hometown. He'll be ready. He's the most experienced anyone on the field. Yeah, golf from up there. He been locked. He been throwing a football, with a lot more authority. I forgot he from up there. Yeah, I don't even know where Novato, California is. We about to find out. So let me see. Yeah, it's the Bay Area, Novato. Ain't that sad? They took away. Yeah, it's not far from. It's not too far from Berkeley. I ain't gonna say it's right across the bay, right across whatever that river is or whatever that body of water, the San Pablo Bay, San Francisco Bay. It's right across the San Francisco Bay. Yeah, man, I heard they got took away the In and Out Burger in San Francisco because they keep robbing people. I mean, out near Oakland, so Oakland losing, restaurants and shit, man, because there are any questions I answer them because they keep robbing people up there, man. Oakland getting bad. It's crazy, real crazy. So, uh, but uh, but yeah, man. I mean, I like the Lions to win by a field goal. I'm gonna be a homer on this one. But like I said, I can see this game getting out of hand. I don't think the Lions gonna blow them out. I think if anybody get blown out, it's the Lions. If it's a competitive game, the San Francisco is just a more experienced team. That's who they want to win. But I think the Lions find a way to win by a field goal. Like I said before, man, most of the pressure on the 49ers. But they've been here before. They got experience. Last year left a sour taste in their mouth because Philadelphia knocked out he knocked out they knocked out Brock Purdy, so I think he'd be out there to prove something. But I think the Lions made it further than anybody else thought they would make it. And then next year is gonna be basically validity. Can they reproduce what they did this year? Can they, take control of the NFC North? You have a lot of people turning around, still going back with Green Bay after what Green Bay did this year. It's going to be pressure on Green Bay this year, next year. Can they, pick up where they left off at? So it's going to be very, 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 very interesting moving forward. So the changing of the guard can happen really, really fast in the conference. He said, "This is okay." I read that one. He said, "I think Debo will be more of a decode than actually used." He said that was in East Oakland. The trench is real bad over here. It was in East Oakland. Yep. So I don't know, man. Debo gonna be used as a decoy, but hey, you still gotta respect them being out there, man. You still gotta respect them being out there. But I like the Lions by 3, 27-30. So but I do think, man, Golf going to the crib. I think he's 3-6 career versus the San Francisco 49ers. So I think he's 3-6. So playing in the division, tough football team, athletic football team. Um, and we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see, man. And, they went out there, got Chase Young, got a lot of these guys. I don't know how you're gonna keep paying all these guys and keep sticking together, but they going for it right now. So they going for it right now. Remember, they traded DeForest Buckner. Instead, they kept Eric Armstead and some of those guys. And then we can't get out here without talking about Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Dre Greenlaw. We talked about Chase Young, Javon Hargrave, Javon Kinlaw. I mean, they got a lot of really good football players. And Nick Bosa, you got to account for him. He gonna be moving inside, outside on Taylor Decker. That's probably more of his matchup with Chase Young and those guys. So they're gonna be aggressive, especially on third down. They're gonna be trying to get after it. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the Lions block with they 5. They're gonna chip, they're gonna max protect, they're gonna get the ball out quick. Are they gonna run the ball, run some draws, running back delays, run right at them guys and try to get yards and wear them out in the run game, and then try to pass over their head to slow them down. So gonna be situations where they 3rd and 5, and I think the Lions are gonna run the draw, run the ball, trying to take advantage of those aggressive pass rushers. And I think most of their linebackers are built for speed. So that's most linebackers. They built for coverage more than thumping. So I think a power run game, in addition to people saying running on the outside, but I think a power run game is right down the throats is what you're trying to do with a aggressive, fast, defense. So, but yeah, let's see. What else we got? He said, "Do you think they'll allow CJ to line up?" Yeah, of course. They allow him to line up on Debo. Might be not exclusively, but maybe. He said, I think the Detroit should run the ball more and use trick plays and get Jameson Williams involved in allowing passing game and let the cheetah loose. I mean, I just think, you can't even just think about getting the ball to Jameson just, in trick plays. I mean, it is what it is. I just think you got to shout to Archangel 7, though. I think you got to just find a way to get the ball to Jameson Williams. If he got favorable matchups, you got to trust him. If it's on curls, comebacks, slants, drags, screens, find creative ways. And that might be Josh Reynolds, might be the creative guy to get the ball. It might be a Donovan Peoples-Jones game, but I think you got to find a way to get the ball to Jameson Williams and see if he can create and protect the ball, teach, catch the ball, concentrate on that, um, and yeah, we'll see, man. But yeah, I just think you got to find ways to get him the ball. Yeah, he said run screens as well. Yep, you run screens as well. Shout out to Miss D. Shout out to Miss D as well. Uh, and yeah, find ways to get the ball. Screens. Uh, I'm just very very interested into the game that Ben Johnson is going to call. And then with Aaron Glenn, it's going to be interesting how you call this. Because if you worried about McCaffrey coming out the backfield, do you run more man? Do you run zone? Do you run cover 2? You run cover 3? You don't want to run cover 4 because in cover 4, ain't nobody responsible for the flats. So I'm very interested to see, the defense that Aaron Glenn actually implements here too, and what he calls here, man. And it seems that he's making some great second half adjustments. But like I said before, San Francisco can get up real quick, and things can get out of hand real quick as well too. So I think he got to make adjustments as he go. A lot of times he's made great adjustments at the half, and he's called some really good plays. They have disguised some blitzes. Um, They've disguised some blitzes. They disguised blitzes really well. I mean, Melifano is blitzing and he not even giving it away. Brian Branch off the corner, he blitzing and not giving away. They stunned. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson has been running amok. He can get some more help from somebody on the opposite side of the pass rush. I mean, he got McNeil. So if he can get some help from somebody off the other edge, that might be James Houston, Romeo Cora, Charles Harris. I was surprised they got rid of Julian Okora, then brought him back on the practice squad, because Julian Okora, from time to time, he makes some very, very big timely plays as well too. Very super athletic, but I think they're gonna go with the old dogs, old red dogs or blue dogs in this situation, man. So I'm interested to see what Aaron Glenn is actually gonna cook up as well too. They've been doing a great job of blitzing, but I do think as well Gardner Johnson and Melifano probably need to match up on some of their receivers. But the thing about these receivers, when they do, they will challenge you down the field off the play action. But they're so good run after the catch. They're really challenging you across the middle. They're challenging your corner's ability to tackle. They're challenging your corner's ability to really stick with them. They're gonna catch screens and you have to be able to wrap up and tackle. They will throw deep pass, but what they want to do is they want the middle of the field, they want the screens, they want to get the ball in their playmakers' hands, and they want to get yards after catch. That's the name of the game for them. They want to get yards after catch. That is the name of the game for the San Francisco 49ers. They got really, people don't talk about McCaffrey, but he's not just an athletic running back, he's a physical running back. He's a very, very physical running back. Very physical running back. You know what I'm saying? So people don't talk about that's a physical football team all the way around, from the pass catchers to the playmakers. They're physical. He said, I think we should just wear their corner out. Been watching some of their pods and they're worried about him. Was Shadavius Ryder the other one? I mean, yeah, you can do that, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna be trying to help him. So yeah, you can do that and put him in space and put him in situations and all that. And then what you noticing from a lot of defensive coordinators, they're not allowing their top corners to go into the slot. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these defensive coordinators, they ain't letting the Ramses or the Reeveses and guys like that travel in the slot or travel with the best receiver. They're willing to, let the scheme take care of what they take care of. And if I'm the Lions, I'm going to see if I can get Gardner Johnson on Debo. I want to put Melifanu on Ayuk in situations. I'm not going to leave it up to Vidor and Cam Sutton. In situational football, I'm putting them on there. And I know you want to save Melifanu and Gardner Johnson for George Kittles. I mean, we ain't talked about George Kittles. And one thing about George Kittles, he's a needle mover. He's a chain mover, and he make explosive plays down the field. I mean, they got weapons all over the field. A lot of times you see them use George Kittles. He more the receiving threat that's going down the field. He doing the deep corner routes. He doing the deep out routes. He running the fly routes down the seam and all that stuff. That's one thing that we haven't talked about is how important George Kittles is. Very important. I mean, he was the only tight end that was ahead in the Pro Bowl voting of Sam Laporta. Lions need to wear that line down and run all of our runners, throw tricks and get first downs. Thug ball. He said Zach Ertz is probably going to earn some ring in this game. I mean, yeah, they probably got a package for him. Already made a really good one-hand catch, but I ain't really concerned about him. But I do think you're gonna miss Brock Wright in the running game. So, but yeah, I'm probably bringing a physical run game. But like I said before, I think it got to be the Gibbs show, and they got to showcase everything they can do to Gibbs, and Gibbs been catching the football a lot better. I think got to be the Gibbs show, and I think it either Gibbs got to show up, Gibbs or JMO Reynolds, Donovan Peoples-Jones. One of those guys or a combination of those guys got to have a big game. I'm trying to tell you. If the Lions can start getting production outside the hashes, and that could be in a screen game, that could be comebacks, that can be curls, that can be fly routes, that can be whatever. If they can start getting traction in the passing game outside the hashes, that's the only thing that this team is missing from being a complete offense. They just missing the throws outside the hashes. And one of the things about Brock Purdy, both these offenses mirror each other. What they want to do is they want to run that football. They want to play action, attack down the field. But what they really want to do is run the football and attack the middle of the field. That's what Jared Goff is doing, is what Brock Purdy's doing. You've seen what Cincinnati was able to do, to beat them. They took away the middle of the field throws. And guess what they did? They had no answer for it. He kept throwing the ball. They kept picking it. They kept baiting them into throwing those and closing those windows over the middle. That's what Brock Purdy wanted. When Brock Purdy get the percolating, he get the completing them passes over the middle. You know what I'm saying? Then it start opening up everything on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So you want to squeeze the middle routes and them passes he threw over the middle. You want to make him go outside the hashes. You want to make him, not be able to lean on the run game and try to make throws and have to read defenses and go through progressions. The run game allows that split second where you freeze the defense, and they got to respect it. And that gives you an opportunity to be able to squeeze the ball where you need to squeeze the ball at. Without the run game, then it's a little bit more harder to get the ball where you want to get the ball at. Ms. D says, he said, yes, runs the ball like Henry. Yeah, he's a physical running back. He ain't being as big as Henry, but he is. He said, I'm leaning on Brian Branch, and we going to need him. Yeah, we going to need him. He said he didn't think he played that well last week. He said, we need to get J-Mo the ball. But they going to need big plays from J-Mo, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Josh Reynolds. Reynolds had his turn in the first round. We need that Reynolds well, he had a good game versus Tampa too. He be heating up. They need to be very, very good outside them hashes. I keep telling y'all that. That's just the next evolution for this offense. Now, apparently, they offensive, what is this? His offensive passing game coordinator is interviewing with the New England Patriots for their OC job. I mean, maybe, you don't want to make no false promises. Maybe that's their next OC. Because apparently Ben Johnson is going to the Washington Commanders, according to Boomer Esiason. It seemed that has some legs to it. It was so funny. I was watching Undisputed with Keyshawn Johnson. He said that I done came into situations where we in the playoffs and coaches got jobs on other teams, and I walked in the office and they Googling and they searching things about the other team, and they working on the other team and not worry about what they got on their menu for the playoff run. It's hard not to. If you going on vacation, what the first thing you doing? You going to look up restaurants, you going to look up tourist spots, you going to look at the popular spots. If you smoke weed, trying to find a dispensary, if they got expensive water on the strip or whatever, like in Vegas, you trying to go to Dollar Tree, Walmart, you trying to see what the public transportation like, you trying to see what the Uber Lyft like. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to see where the regular people kick it at. You're trying to see where the tourists kick it at. You're trying to see where it's safe, where it's not safe to go. Oh, what color I shouldn't wear? What should I wear? The weather. That's what you're trying to figure it all out. So, but Purdy playing for a bag. He can't get paid next year, I don't think, but he playing for a bag too. You know? And how good are the Shanahans, man? They turn around. They draft Trey Lance. They miss on him. They draft the kid Brock Purdy. He ended up being a perfect fit. Talking about being able to at least evaluate a quarterback. It's crazy. The Lions will win it all in theirs, and it's their time. If they time, that's their time. That'll be one of the best things in the city. Pick up the city morale back, the city coming back. I mean, the Wings are playing really, really well. People forget the Wings beat Tampa the same day we beat Tampa. They beat the Lightning, we beat the Bucks. But the Lions are playing for respect, for validity. This is just lightning in a bottle. They playing for validity. They playing for respect, bro. They got a chip on their shoulder. And I don't think San Francisco respect the Lions. They saying all the right things, but I don't think they respect the Lions. Come on, man. We was a 6.5 point underdog. Now it grew a point. We a 7.5 point under. They saying we gonna lose by a touchdown. They said we gonna lose by a touchdown. More than the touchdown. Come on, man. So if you don't understand these numbers on your screen, the spread is for you to win the Lions just flat out can win and you win the spread. But they got to lose by a touchdown or less for you to win this or win. If they lose by 7, anything 7 and under, you win. So this negative 14 number, you bet $114. Every $114 you bet, you win 100. San Francisco has to win by 8 or more for you to win this. They lose, you lose it all. But if they win by 8 or more, you win. They lose by 8 or less, you lose. So if they win by more than 7.5, which is 8, $106. Every $106 you bet win 100. Okay, money line is straight up. If the Lions win, you win. Every $100 you bet, you win $310. That's what that plus mean. That plus mean every 100 is what you mean. When you see this negative, this negative number is every 114. An example, you win 100. Every 114 you bet, you win 100. Every 100 you bet, you win 310. As simple as that. All right, you bet the 49ers going to win, you got to bet $390 to profit $100. That's how big of a favorite the 49ers are. Over and under 51.5. So they basically saying that each team got at least average, 26 points apiece for you to cover that. So if you feel like they gonna score over that, 110, every you bet 110, you win 100. Obviously, you could bet less or more than these numbers as well. So if I had to give my uneducated betting advice, I would say, if I think they're gonna win, I'm gonna just have the Lions cover the 7. And I'm gonna win. I'm gonna go to the money line. I said 30 to 27. I think that'd be over the total. But every time you think it's a shootout, guess what happens? It ain't a damn shootout. It's a defensive struggle. You like the Rams game about to be a shootout. What happened? Second quarter, defenses finally got off the damn bus. The private A, he said, I don't think Ben Johnson's leaving, especially for the Commanders. He needs to stay and make the Lions more than a one-hit wonder, and he'll get ready to win the job offers like Doc Rivers. I don't think that's the point. I think Commanders got new ownership. It's a major city in D.C. It's a historic franchise. Magic Johnson is back in the ownership. They got a lot of money. And I think, he out of here. Unfortunately, they don't have a quarterback, and that's kind of one of the things that's probably deterring you away from that job. But hey, it is what it is. Sam Howell, not the worst. But he said, I'm just worried about Goff throwing picks without Jonah Jackson. He damn near the whole line. We do for a golf game where he throws bad picks. Unfortunately, Jonah Jackson, I mean, that's an unfortunate loss right then and there, man. Not having Jonah Jackson hurting his knee. He's definitely the heart. He definitely, a very integral part of that offensive line for sure. That's a huge loss that we ain't talking about. And up the middle, they're gonna have to help, them out. And they got to help Taylor Decker on the edge with those pass rushers too. So, yeah, we a little bit wounded coming in this game. That hurt with Jonah Jackson being out, man, because that line is totally different when he in and when he out. That is Midas touch is definitely right. Does Nam say you're right? Don't respect us and expect the Lions to bend over and give the game to the 49ers. So yeah, man. But hey, man, that's all I got for y'all today. I appreciate y'all, and I'll keep the content pushing through Sunday. Peace.